Okay, Backies.
Is there a back shots joke to be made here?
Please don't.
Imagine Backies here, bro.
What does that mean?
It's like a back shot. It's back shots.
Oh, I guess I don't get it.
Because everyone's saying like back shots here.
Oh, I guess so.
That's what people are saying.
I'm not in the know. 3, 2, 1. Kevin.
What's up?
Good to see you again,
Yeah.
man. It has
been a while.
so long.
It's been a while.
That vest you're wearing is so great. I've never seen you in it.
Thanks.
We are back for the Backies. The lesser produced show, because you're right, we don't like to focus on the bad.
Yeah.
We really want to celebrate the best. But there are some things that we should talk about that happened this year.
We need to admonish some of the worst.
And we need to address them.
Yeah,
and say, listen, these things happened and we didn't forget.
Yeah. Sunny days wouldn't be so special if it wasn't for rain.
Poetic and beautiful, Kevin. The Backies, of course, is the compliment award show to the Fronties, where we celebrate the worst of the year. Worst is strong, but, you know, the back half of the year.
Yeah. The
backside of the year.
Yeah.
You know?
Darker stories.
That's
things
right.
that didn't get us going.
The things that happened that we don't want to remember, but
we'll never forget.
We'll never forget, and we're here to be brave and to say
somebody's got to take them on.
Someone is here. By all accounts, a weird year, 2023.
Yeah,
I think we'll look back on
a weird year
and think that was a weird year.
There was like that fake recession that everyone was talking
about.
Fake,
yeah, totally fake. Yeah. That didn't happen.
Well, I mean,
or it didn't affect
just
anyone.
Like I feel like two people just made it up and then it became a thing. You know?
Mm-hmm. Remember all the banks crashed that day?
Yeah, the Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah. Sam Bankman-Fried. Some people thought he should have won Time Magazine Person of the Year. Of course, it went to Taylor Swift.
Did it really go to Taylor Swift?
Yeah. She's Person of the Year.
For what?
For doing the world's biggest tour and like making $1 billion, and the Eras tour, putting out an album nominated for multiple Grammys, while also having time to prioritize her love life, Kevin.
Wow, I mean, I can't argue
solidifying her place as in the pantheon of music history, being the biggest global artist in the world, the most streamed on Spotify. Probably all of those reasons. Crypto crashed. Did that happen, Kevin?
I think that happened this year.
Kevin got punched in the face twice.
Yeah, twice. Once at the Bills game, once on my bike.
These are things that happened.
Did a podcast without a voice.
Oh, that's right. You did an episode, no voice.
Sounded like RFK. That was the joke there.
You went to Vegas?
I went to Vegas and I didn't even give you a recap.
Yeah, it's probably best. I think what happens in Vegas,
yeah, that's what they say.
We started.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to
it. So we're just talking about some of the things that happened. Kevin, we started YouTube, which was something on the Fronties we celebrated, but on the back, Kevin got double the production work here on the show. So that is unfortunate for Kevin's work.
Yeah, that's a backy.
It's a personal backy
Yeah.
For Kevin, who now has to prepare for the show, edit the show, and then also do 2 different productions, the podcast and also the YouTube. So sorry about that.
Yeah, shout out to me for that.
A late addition here. Patrick Mahomes signed to the Prime Logan Paul's energy drink.
Makes so much sense.
Which I guess is a backy, but also a fronty for you as a Patrick Mahomes hater and a Chiefs.
I'm not a Patrick Mahomes hater. I'm a Chiefs hater.
You know what? I'm starting to turn into one because, I was on the fence there. He was in that sort of Steph Curry place for me where I was like, do I like this guy?
And then he went and threw his mouthpiece.
And then he threw his mouthpiece and started complaining about the
threw
call.
A little baby bitch fit.
Yeah, the call didn't go for me.
Yeah, boo-hoo.
You forgot that you literally won a Super Bowl because you got multiple calls being pushed out of bounds.
Shut the
holding
heck
call.
up.
Come on.
An extra play in the AFC Championship game.
That's
who's counting?
That's right. Another recency bias story. Kevin, Figma was bought by Adobe and then given back to Figma, and all they had to do was pay them $1 billion.
I'm asking the question: is Figma the Barstool Sports of creative software?
You bring up a good point. Famously, Barstool was able to be given back to Dave Portnoy for $1. I probably wishes he also got $1 billion as part of that deal. So shout out to his legal team, probably feeling real bad. But Figma, I believe was there some monopoly intervention that happened here that prevented them from Adobe from buying Figma and just having a monopoly over the creative industry? Because If so, that is hilarious because there's so many tech companies that Facebook just like completely has a monopoly over all things social. But when Adobe tries to do it over all the design industry, they get flack for it. So I don't know what happened there, but that story is developing in real time. But a Backie for sure.
Yeah, good for them getting a Billy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty sick. Shout out to Figma. Nokia rebranded. One of the funniest stories, I believe, where we got to talk about
Vegas rebrand.
Yeah, vague, strategic stories about technology and connection.
If I love one thing, it's vague strategy that may or may not be relative to the company or brand that is being written to.
That's right, Kevin. If you recall, they don't want to be remembered as a old telephone company. I remember that was one of the big things they wanted to be pushed away because I think everyone remembers their Nokia flip phones.
I mean, if they were smart, they'd just, start making flip phones again. People are wanting them.
I think they want to go away from that, though. They want to change people's perception. They actually are now a connective internet technology company.
Whatever they say.
Whatever they say. Jeff Koons, there was a statue of a dog, a little dog, as you recall. It broke.
Little balloon dog.
A little balloon dog broke. And for some reason, we talked about that.
People were clamoring about buying the pieces.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy.
Inside job, question mark, asterisk.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not saying it, but Jeff,
Yeah.
we all know what you're doing back there.
Yeah. Jeff Koons, we're watching you. Johnson & Johnson got rid of their logo and sparked a debate about scripts because kids don't learn script anymore.
Yeah.
Cursive is dead.
Kids can't read.
And the kids can't read. So, got to change all those script logos. So, all script logos.
We're coming for you, Rolos.
Yeah, we're watch out Coca-Cola. A man sued Buffalo Wild Wings over boneless wings, saying
kind of a hero.
If you remember correctly. If I remember correctly, the wings weren't wings. They were not made from
chicken nuggets.
They're chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
So he was saying the boneless wings are actually just
they were
nuggets.
made from chicken breast.
They were made from chicken breast, not wings. So therefore, they're not wings. He's got a point, but also that's a ridiculous lawsuit. That's not going to go anywhere.
First time ever a guy's complaining about getting a breast over a wing.
That is a bad joke.
First time ever a guy's complaining about getting a breast over a hand.
Wow, Kevin. Better joke, but
God damn it.
Damn it, Kevin.
We're leaving it in.
Yeah, we're leaving it in. It's the Backies. Where those bad jokes are welcome.
First time ever a guy's complained about getting a breast.
Keep it going, Kevin. Keep trying. Jared Leto, an honorable mention here for Bozo of the Year, an award we will be giving out later.
A log jam for that one. Incredible year for Bozos.
Big Bozo year.
Yeah, huge Bozo year.
Jared Leto did not win it, but he should be honored and sort of recognized.
We need to talk about his cat outfit.
He wore a cat costume
not
to the Met
once.
Gala, but then also in the streets.
And then he showed up in Lower East
Soho?
Side.
Yeah, somewhere.
In the coolest area of New York. Probably outside of Ray's Bar.
Yeah.
In LES.
Dressed
rocking
as
the cat, taking pictures, doing it for the gram, looking all cool.
Yeah.
And then a recent story that we didn't cover on the program, but was on a topic doc. I think it was when Alex had the flu.
That's right.
But he climbed the quote unquote climbed the Empire State Building.
Yes.
To promote his new album for his band that
30 Seconds to Mars.
Is that his band?
That's his band.
Is it really?
30 Seconds to Mars. Yes. I just broke news to Kevin.
Wow. I thought that was another
bad band.
A horrible band. Yeah.
No, that is his band. He has led that band since 1998. And fun fact about Jared Leto, he's 51 years old, looking great for 51. God knows whose blood he's drinking to make that happen.
He's a guy that I feel like should have and should be bullied way more.
Yeah, I think, there are people that like him, which continues to blow my mind.
Honestly, bigger red flag than liking Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
If you're a big Jared Leto head out there,
you
got to reevaluate some shit.
Also, The Rock, I famously questioned why do people like The Rock?
I mean, The Rock rules. Come on.
No.
Dude's ripped.
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to put The Rock, Jared Leto, and Ryan Reynolds all in the
I would
same
dispute.
area.
I would dispute The Rock.
It's people like
The Rock
this person,
fucking rules.
and I don't get it.
Played football, WWE, ascended from there. That's sick.
Yeah, sure.
Stop player hating on The Rock.
Sure. Again,
you can't smell what The Rock's cooking.
Agree to disagree. He climbed the Empire State Building and does all sorts of things for attention. And I would just be happier if he just did not.
Yeah. Bot Bar moved into our neighborhood. One of the many additions to Greenpoint that we're so thankful to have.
Yeah, big year for Greenpoint.
Yeah, I've tried to get coffee there more than one time.
Yeah.
And have not been successful.
Yeah, the robots were taking time off. They're
not sure if they're still in business.
Yeah,
but
we
maybe
should check
they are.
in.
Yeah, we should check in. We should have checked in before this show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, robots turns out bad baristas. That's what we learned here this year. They can't take over that profession. Which, thank you. You tried.
Yeah, you tried.
Nicely done. And then lastly, one of the big stories of the year: a submarine exploded because
imploded.
Oh, it imploded.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
A big story for again about 2 calendar weeks. Someone decided to go see the Titanic and built themselves a submarine.
Bro, just watch the movie.
Exactly. So those are just the stories of the year that we did not award.
Yeah, those happened.
Those are things that happened this year, and we would be remiss not to mention them, but we'll honorably mention them.
Yeah,
and then give out our awards, which maybe we should do in reverse next year. But listen, this is our show.
What are we doing? What should we do in reverse?
Do the honorable mentions at the end of the year versus then doing them at the front of the show.
I'm writing it down right now. Back shots in reverse.
Write it down. Yeah, honorable mentions go to the end, not the front. But this is the Backies, and we celebrate the worst. Worst is too strong of a word. The back half of the years, not the front, the backs. And that first story goes...
The story's at the back of the pack.
Yeah, so the story of the year that we need to talk about at the beginning of the show, M&M's, the mascot controversy. Who could forget when M&M's rolled out their rebrand, a beautiful rebrand done by Jones Knowles Ritchie, which had a refresh of the famous M&M's spokes candies.
Yes, the green M&M.
The lentils.
The green M&M, unfortunately, is no longer sexy.
That's right. And the green M&M famously lost its high heels, and Tucker Carlson lost his mind, and then M&M sort of hinted at a Super Bowl commercial, and then Maya Rudolph introduced clam M&Ms and confused all of us. And I even talked to the New York Times about this.
Wow, I forgot that. That happened. That should have been in the fronties.
That happened this year.
Alex quoted in the New York Times.
I was quoted in the New York Times about this story. And M&M lentils. We found out that that's what they call those little chocolate things. They're lentils. And the mascots got the entire nation in a tizzy. And a saga that we couldn't go without talking about.
M&M's went woke.
M&M's went
they
woke.
paid the price.
And when you go woke, you go broke. That's what I always say.
Yeah, they're out of business now.
That's right. No one is buying M&M's. But really, it could have been a fronty. But the reason why it's a Backie is because I think they could have maximized this story in a way that was smart and kind of flipped it on its head and kind of taken advantage of this moment. And I think they really dropped the ball.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. I'm sorry, M&M's. We would still love to work with you, but I do think you could have taken advantage of this moment. You had a cultural moment, which feels like 30 years ago, but it was this year, 2023, at the very beginning of the year. And they didn't really capitalize. There was a lot of hoopla and not a lot of great creative execution that came from it, where it could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were given sort of an alley-oop, and they did not land the dunk. They kind of smashed it into the front of the rim.
Yeah, they bricked it.
They bricked it.
They bricked it.
And for that,
a lot of ass.
Backie of the year. We're going to then move into the next award, Kevin, which goes to Rebrand of the year. I thought we were giving this to X from Twitter, but maybe not. I guess they're winning honorable mention, which we're giving to the main award.
No, I think you said this was Rebrand of the year.
I said this was Rebrand of the year. Okay, well, give me the Backie because I'm wrong.
Give Alex back shots.
Yeah, the Rebrand of the year really goes to X from Twitter. Who could forget? The famous moment of this year where Twitter, the bird, the blue, all of it was gone. And in its place was X, Elon Musk, with some sort of really textured background marble.
Grungy.
A grungy aesthetic.
Yeah.
And this is...
Crowdsourced logo.
Yeah, a logo that he just found on his Twitter page. And this is the worst rebrand of the year. I'll say honorable. It's still, every time I look at it, I'm still surprised and shocked that that's what it looks like on my phone.
Yeah.
People still have a hard time saying it, where they'll say like X, formerly Twitter, which is how you know it's a really bad rebrand. Is
watching X videos.
People are still calling it the previous brand. It's not really catching on now, months later. So
I mean, it's still Twitter to everybody.
It's still Twitter. That's what I'm saying. So to change it from Twitter to X, it's you could change the logo, you could change the website, you could change the name, but you can't change people's minds.
Damn right.
And that's what I like to say about branding. It lives in people's minds. And so that is why it is the worst rebrand of the year, Twitter to X. Honorable mention goes to Max, aka formerly HBO Max, which
to their credit, people are calling it Max, right?
Yeah, which I will say, that's why it's not the worst rebrand of the year, is because it's kind of working. HBO is still a part of Max, and you could still notice the good shows when they say HBO Presents versus Max Originals.
Yeah,
which is a little
stay away from
those Max Originals. Those are stinkers. So we'll give this sort of a little bit of credit, and not give it the worst rebrand of the year. That should go to X. So some on the fly changing it. Remember when they gave out the sort of fake award show to Moonlight? Remember that happened? There was a mix up of the cards there. That almost happened to us.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Max was the Backies rebrand of the year.
Yeah, it actually went to that sort of dancing movie with Emma Stone and
La La Land.
La La Land. Thank you, Kevin. Look at us. That's fucking teamwork.
Movie buff.
Yeah, movie buff. Okay, biggest bully of the year, Backie, goes / tell your legal team to calm down, goes to Taco Bell for their bullying of Taco John.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite stories of the year, because it makes me sad.
Yeah. You hate to see the little guy lose.
That's right. So
they got the trademark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super into the trademarks, you know.
That's for a lawyer to determine.
Yeah, I'm kind of more of like a I like the freedom, I don't think anybody owns really anything,
That's a very
especially when it comes to ideas and words. How can you own a fucking word? Huh?
Yeah, that's very Bernie Sanders of you. Taco Bell, for those people that didn't listen to the episode or don't remember the story, Taco Bell was all up in a tizzy because they wanted to use Taco Tuesdays with their ad promotions, with their partnership with LeBron James, who was canceled for a brief moment for using Taco Tuesdays. And that's because the actual trademark of the term Taco Tuesday is owned by Taco John's, which sounds like a taco stand that has just like one outpost, but has hundreds of outposts. We learned Taco John's is an actual legitimate taco operation, and they own and created Taco Tuesday. And Taco Bell came in, bullied them. They actually did a marketing campaign around this where they wanted to liberate Taco Tuesdays. They got LeBron, they got other people to help them in this weird legal battle. They won. They fucking won. So Taco Bell, tell your legal team to calm down.
Good job, LeBron.
And good job to them, but you deserve a Backie.
This is LeBron's 5th ring.
He did it. You got Taco John to give up the fucking trademark for Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah, good job.
So now you guys can sell more tacos on Tuesdays. Good job.
Well, they liberated it for all of us, Alex.
Yeah, so now I can use it on my fucking Instagram stories like LeBron did. Scammers, they use the legal system against Taco John, and for that, I'll be not eating Taco Bell.
What an incredible transition you just laid out.
That's right. That's because we're giving Scammer of the Year to Meghan and Harry, another story of this year.
For their work or lack of work on their podcast, which they have signed a massive deal with Spotify, and they do all of the questions via an underpaid intern. So salute to them.
Yep. What's hard?
Big names like Oprah and whoever else they get.
Yep.
Not even getting to talk to Meghan or Harry.
That's right.
Which honestly rules. I wish we were doing that here. We need to be doing that.
Yeah. Is this a Backie or a fronty? I don't know, but Backie of the year because they scammed Spotify out of hundreds of millions of dollars, it seemed, or at least millions of dollars for a podcast that they did not even host. So
pretty sick,
pretty wild. And of course, my favorite moment of that decision or that moment was when Bill Simmons, who was bought by Spotify. The Ringer was purchased by Spotify, if you recall back to last year. And so he's a big part of the Spotify podcast sort of operations. He called them, quote, fucking grifters.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Bill.
Is, shout out to Bill Simmons. Yeah. Billionaires should buy their own fucking stadiums.
For this next award.
Yes. What do we got, Kev?
I love this award. This is, we had a lot of, we talked about a lot of things this year. And I don't know if we got any more heated in the entire year than talking about this one.
Yeah.
And so we're going to award Loser of the Year to the Frankmobile, formerly known as the Wienermobile. If you remember at the beginning of the year, they were calling for Wiener mobilers or whatever the hell. Drivers who were going to put over 200,000 miles on the road, going to shows, doing marketing events, hanging out in supermarket parking lots.
For Oscar Mayer.
They touted the position as, of massive importance. They claimed it would be excellent marketing experience for a young person who wanted to get into marketing, I guess.
Yep.
And then they released the wages, which were extremely low. Maybe I can't remember the exact number, but
it was sad.
Maybe on the border of livable.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Also, the amount of driving they had to do was pretty intense.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, 200 events a year.
And then they went on, as if that story couldn't be worse. They went on to change the name of the Wienermobile.
Kevin, real quick before you, I'm going to let you finish, but the salary was $35,000.
Pretty low.
Base salary, with a weekly allowance of $150 for meals and personal travel.
Yeah, I need an allowance.
Yeah, yikes.
If your salary has an allowance, get a new job. Unless it's good. I don't know. Actually, I wish I had an allowance.
Yeah. Kevin, but
talk about that
sorry,
later.
I cut you off. You were talking about the second part of the story, which is where they renamed the Wienermobile to the Frankmobile.
Yeah.
Which I got to say, even seeing this on this page and saying it out loud,
it
is another example of a rebrand that I refuse to accept.
Yeah, I'm just so sick of the Wiener shame that's going around in 2023. Just be proud of what you got, and don't change your fucking car name to be the Frankmobile. It's fucking stupid. Nobody likes it.
Yeah. Think about all the equity, Kevin. The Wienermobile is an iconic, a legend, a symbol of America.
I'm officially boycotting the Frankmobile.
Yeah.
If I see it, it's on site.
Yeah. Again,
I'm rear-ending it.
Talking about trying to sell a job too. You're going to drive the Wienermobile. That's a prestigious honor. To drive a Frankmobile.
Nah.
Nothing.
Who the fuck is Frank?
Frankmobile is a terrible name. And to be honest,
all my homies hate Frank.
I don't think we're going to celebrate that or continue to call it that. It will always be the Wienermobile forever. So good luck trying to change people's opinions there.
And then I'm not as good at the transitions.
Okay.
But we're gonna go ahead and transition.
Another iconic American brand trying to create news.
Trying to do stuff.
And failed. Yeah, I would say.
And this is this one's for the worst broken record. A record we'd like to see unbroken. We'd like them to put this in reverse and to not do this. And that was the Pizza Hut doing the world's biggest pizza.
Yeah.
They had some sort of tractor cooking situation, just a whole ordeal. They looped in some YouTubers. It was a mess. Nobody cared. This is the most obsolete thing you could do in 2023.
Yeah.
This was bad. So let's just move on.
Yeah, this is worst stunt of the year. I forgot about the story. So Kevin, this is why I love the Backies, because, there are a lot of fronties and things I remember and I'll think back on fondly. This is a story that I had completely forgotten about ever since we talked about it, because of course, I don't have room in my brain for this, but Pizza Hut tried to bring in a whole bunch of TikTokers and they teamed up with Guinness Book of Records, and they tried to make the world's biggest pizza. And I think they succeeded. And they got this giant,
at what cost?
This giant convention center type space, and they just built this pizza on the ground.
Let's not forget that they donated it after too.
Yeah, they had to, because people will criticize them for wasting food, and then I think that's the right thing to do. But then also who wants this ground pizza that they're using shovels?
Yeah, thank you for donating the ground pizza.
Yeah, this is disrespectful to pizza. I'm just going to say it as a
New Yorker. Disrespectful to a lot of stuff.
It's disrespectful, and Pizza Hut, you should be ashamed.
Yes.
And as a New Yorker who loves his pizza. I could go for some pizza right now. The fact that you would disgrace such an important part of my life by creating this giant ground pizza.
Do you think they folded the crust? They do a little crease in the middle.
This is this is the pictures. Again, they say all.
Yeah, get out of here, Pizza Hut.
Get out of here.
Take your Backie and leave.
Congrats on your Backie. Worst innovation that we'd still like to try goes to Eggo. This is a story that continues to pop up, and I see it around.
It won't die.
Sometimes people send it to me and tag me in it, so it's our brand is working. We're connecting with people, and they're starting to think of us when they think of crazy, outlandish innovation and brand sort of products that are being launched. So I appreciate that to all of our listeners who do that, and that's of course remembering back only a couple months ago, actually this summer, to when Eggo released a boozy drink that tastes like waffles, maple syrup, and bacon, and it was called Eggo Brunch in a Jar Appalachian Sippin' Cream.
Damn right.
And it came in sort of this giant container that just looked insane. It just looked like something that you don't want to pour into a cocktail martini glass, that's for sure, even though that's how they have it visualized here.
If they're calling it brunch in a jar, it better be at least 400 calories per serving.
I bet it probably
better be
is.
thick.
Yeah, it definitely looks thick. Yeah, it's in a mason jar. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that one. But yeah, it's in a giant mason jar with a fully wrapped label, so the liquid is particularly disgusting to look at.
I'm sure it's like a nice creamy white.
Yeah, and I'm sure as it sits on shelf, I would imagine it only gets more appetizing. Because it
probably separates.
It looks beautiful in this photograph here.
100%.
And you probably got to shake it real well before you serve it.
Hey, but maybe we'll try it.
Yeah. Liquor Brunch in a Jar by Eggo. And this is sad because, the fronties, the backies, it's a fine line, between is this the best? Is this the worst? And
toe the line, sometimes you end up on the backside of the backies.
That's right. And I'm sorry.
Had to do it.
Dunkin', had the sort of spiked Dunkin' seltzer. Dunkin' Brunch in a Jar, a crazy year for innovation at the breakfast table.
Trend of the year is alcohol for breakfast.
That's right. Sunny D vodka.
Yeah.
Drinking, that's right. Breakfast, not just for eating anymore. It's not just for
drinking.
Family. It's for drinking.
Get your buzz on. Responsibly.
Drink responsibly. Moving on, Backies. I'm happy to give this one out, Kevin.
Yeah, please.
And this, Kevin, aptly named the Fuck You Award, which it really... It conjures up all of the hate and anger and the frustration that I have for lanternflies, spotted lanternflies, in New York this year, and potentially probably other places. I've never been.
They're moving east.
Yeah, I haven't been. I haven't traveled much this year, but there was a horrific trend, which was a new type of fly that I have not seen a ton of. Had taken over. It was for a brief moment no longer our city. It was the spotted lanternfly city, and they were fucking everywhere.
They were literally fucking everywhere.
They were literally
having sex and reproducing everywhere.
Yeah, in large groves, like literally, millions of them. It seemed like at a time, just all over the place. And then, if it wasn't any worse, basically the advice given by the sort of government, I would imagine, said, if you want these lanternflies to go away, you got to stomp them out and kill them. You should, the people. So not only are these lanternflies disgusting and all over the place, you just gave me another job, which is to extinguish these lanternflies. So fuck you, lanternflies. 2023, a big part of the year.
Backies 24 watch is allegedly there's a massive spider invasion that's going to hit the East Coast. They're not harmful to humans.
Yeah.
But new invasive species watch is this big spider coming from I believe Asia somewhere.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. Everything's cool. It's all okay. Watch out just for the lanternflies, which you're right. Like at least them, sort of. You look at one lanternfly, you're like, you know what? This is kind of beautiful. It's got these like wings, but then when you see 400 of them outside of your door or your window, it goes from cute and beautiful to downright terrifying.
Yeah,
so
nasty.
If those things turn into less beautiful creatures like a spider or something like that.
Well, we're gonna have both.
Yeah, it's gonna get really terrible.
Maybe the spiders will eat the lanternflies.
Yeah.
And then there'll be more spiders.
I watched a movie actually about the end of the world on Netflix with Julia Roberts, And I don't want to give away the ending or anything there, but it's a sort of it's an interesting movie. It's called Leave the World Behind, and it does have some sort of some themes here that we're talking about in terms of the world going to shit,
and
apocalyptic thriller with animals. So yeah, go check that out. Sam Esmail is the creator of Mr. Robot, a show I don't know if you watch, Kevin, but was popular for a little bit. He's behind this movie. That we've digressed. We got to keep moving.
We got to keep talking about the worst stuff.
About the worst stuff of the year. I mean, Kevin, this story is by far the story of the year. The Backie. This was not even close. And it goes to poop plane.
Yeah, Backie story of the year. The biohazard.
Yep.
You know, the poop plane. The plane that had to turn around going to Europe. Atlanta to Europe is.
I love how much detail you have about these stories just in your brain.
I mean, Atlanta to Europe's not very specific, and I could be totally wrong. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. But in some of the fallout of the story was getting a little bit of the video, which there was poop all up and down the aisles. The report was correct, and I'm glad that we didn't dox the person who had shitted themselves. That would be very embarrassing.
They said, quote, shit is everywhere.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
That was the quote. Delta was the brand behind the sort of
That's tough.
plane.
That's tough. Delta's a good brand.
I will say Delta is
the best.
Is my personal favorite airline. So I got to say, I don't remember
Damn,
this.
That's a classic penthouse thing to say, Alex.
Delta?
What, do you fly first class?
Delta? Listen, I do not. I've flown first class one single time in my life because I was upgraded. I'm a man of the people. How dare you, Kevin? Delta, I will say Delta came out of this unstained, I will say, because it could have been really bad if this happened to sort of what's a Spirit or any other. That's what you would expect to happen would be, some other lower airline. But it happened with Delta. And
it's kind of an act of God.
Yeah, it just didn't diminish my
shit don't
opinion.
stick.
It did not stick. So that is a terrible story. If you have not heard about it, do not look it up. You do not need to see it, nor do you need to think about it. But listen, it happens. Biohazard. Kevin, we're now moving on to some of my favorite stories of the year, or the favorite awards of the year, because it is a big one. It is an absolute the biggest stories of the year. These are the top two.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Honestly, the most esteemed awards we give out on the Backies are these two coming up.
Yeah.
And the first one,
yeah,
as we mentioned in the beginning, a lot of contenders this year. It's a huge year for Bozos.
Yep.
Just people acting out of pocket all year, doing
so
stupid
many
shit.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as we reflect on the Bozos of the year, there were two people at the top that just did the most to earn this award. And
George Santos? No. You're right. It wasn't George Santos.
It wasn't George Santos. I mean, he was in the running.
Yeah,
a lot of people, a lot of Bozos, a lot of Bozos this year.
So many Bozos, and more Bozos to come next year for sure.
A dead tie,
yeah.
Dead heat. I don't know.
Yeah, we counted the votes. And there were just two people that came out on top.
Same amount of votes.
Same amount of votes.
Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk.
Yeah,
and specifically Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk going at each other on not even the same platform, and people getting involved. Dana White. It was just the worst story of the year that we covered probably way too much. I guess the only way to settle who wins Bozo of the Year is
a fight.
We need to fight. We need to see this fight. This needs to happen. Yeah, two big bozos. I mean, I think Zuckerberg has won this award in the past. I think it was Zuck of the Year last year.
We renamed it Zuck of the Year. So it's not a surprise to see him back here. And, it could have, Musk, obviously, we already talked about in terms of his year, which was, a bozo across the board.
Musk was Bozo of the Year last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
And Zuck was Zuck of the Year. So two esteemed Backies winners joining together to win.
Yeah.
Tie and win. Yeah. Win this award.
Yeah, give it to both of them. Honestly, both deserving. Obviously,
a lot of work on this front.
We talked about them at length throughout the year. Obviously, Zuckerberg definitely not getting choked out at an MMA competition. Zuck loves a side quest, and this year really took up fighting. Musk obviously, took offense to Threads, so he challenged Zuck in a fight, and then Dana White got involved in trying to sort of like create or sort of promote this fight. Musk called Zuck a cuck, and then Zuck sort of created a news story where he built a Hawaiian palace where he has an underground bunker that he's building because, God knows the world is ending. So all this to say, and then Zuck got hurt. He injured himself. Mm-hmm. So he had to sort of pull out of the competition. Yeah. They tried to have a fight in Rome, if you don't remember that story.
Yeah, this is just a big stinky diaper full of shit.
This is just one of the worst stories of the year. These two idiots, these two bozos. And, again, this is something tells me they'll be back next year, continuing to do bozo behavior.
They're on early Bozo of the Year watch for 24.
Year. Yeah. I mean, this I will say, the Backies doesn't have a sponsor. Neither the Fronties or the Backies have sponsors. Now that I like to think about it, open submissions for sponsors for next year's show, both the regular show and the award show. Yeah. But I think this year's Backies show is brought to you by both Meta and X. Just both equal co-sponsors of this program.
Yeah,
because
they're cleaning up.
Yeah, they clean up every year in this award show, and so I think they should have title sponsorship for the program. Yes. It only makes sense. And so, Kevin, what's left but to give out the last award of the show, the last and final Backie of the year. Obviously,
brand of the year.
It's brand of the year. It's a big one because, there's so many brands that do so many,
so much dumb
so
stuff.
Much back behavior.
Yeah,
backy behavior. And there's but there's one clear winner. Let's be honest. This wasn't even a close fight.
Not even close.
I think even with X and Twitter and all the Musk stuff,
3 years running, I believe.
That was really tough. But, we had to give this award to our favorite brand to hate on and our favorite brand to talk about and to celebrate for all their dumb things that they do. And if you're a listener to the show, it should come as absolutely no surprise that the Backie for brand of the year goes to Subway. Subway is just an absolute turducken of shit that they continue to roll out every single month. They continue to put ideas that we have only, we can only classify as throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks, except for none of it seems to stick. And for that, they get this award. Honestly, easily. They easily won this award. They did so many promotions that it's funny,
we have all of them in here.
Yeah, we don't this list of promotions that they've done is so many, but I'll just rattle through some of them. They had a name change competition where if you changed your name to Subway, then you could get free Subway sandwiches for life, except for you had to change your name and then be selected from the pantheon or the sort of collection.
You had to
of people.
Apply and then be selected.
You had to be applied. I should have won this with Subway Center, which would have been a great name.
You didn't change your name, Alex.
I didn't change my name, and that's probably because I don't want to have Subway
It's a
for
Backie
life.
For you.
And so that was bad. 10,000 applications were given. They nearly sort of sold their company. They had a Subway in the Sky, which was a promotion where they had a flying Subway blimp across America.
Which I don't even think they were able to execute their vision of having people eat the Subway while in the blimp.
That was part of it, right?
Yeah.
You would win the ability to sort of go up in a Subway and then try their new Subway sandwiches, which we talked about as well on the program, which the only difference is they use a slicer.
Yeah, I didn't see very much UGC from this brand moment.
Which we monitor closely.
So it must have gone pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony P did go up in Subway in the Sky.
Okay.
Shout out to Tony P.
Yeah. So they
big Subway guy.
Yeah, they invested a lot in deli slicers. That was a big thing that they did this year because everyone knows that the problem with the meat was that it wasn't being sliced there in the stores. So they brought in slicers, just like, sort of every other deli in America. So that was a big thing for them. They redesigned their uniforms and they look terrible. And they did a pretty cool photo shoot to make them not look quite as terrible. Very cool
photo shoot.
But that did not totally work.
And then who could forget the footlong cookies?
And then they just launched Subway footlong cookies. Yeah.
I don't mind the footlong cookies. I think it's a fun idea.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the one piece of shit that's sticking to the wall.
Yeah. And so this year they continue to sort of roll out all these kind of crazy ideas.
And listen, for all of that shit that they did, their evaluation as a company is $9.6 billion. So
yeah,
who's the real loser here? Yeah. It's us.
Yeah. Well, listen,
hating from outside of the club, we can't even get in.
Yeah, they are struggling to get new franchisees. That is also an issue that they're having. They're also
because John Oliver ran that hit piece about him.
They also, they're still trying to overcome the Jared Fogle sort of debacle. Which is a tough thing to get over.
Did that documentary come out this year?
Documentary did come out this year, which Catching a Predator or some name like that, which I would recommend watching.
It's a good one. I watched that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, it's a tough watch, but it is true. Catching a Monster is what it's called. It's available on Amazon Prime
and Max.
And Max. It is a tough watch, and yeah, they continue to try to divert people's attention from the Jared Fogelness and the fact that their sandwiches are terrible, and they are doing what I would say is a poor job. And they're trying. They're really trying. And listen, I will say this: Subway, please don't stop trying. Like, this show needs Subway to continue to put out new marketing ideas, new weird promotions with bad hashtags, and trying to get people to write songs about them. Wasn't that another thing, Kevin? They had like a song TikTok challenge. They just, again, the amount of things that they've done this year that are forgettable is just shocking. Really. It is hard to continue to, it's hard to fathom that they're continuing to roll out so many different promotions, none of which are sticking, and so shout out to Subway. 2023, your year, for the worst brand of the year. And
I believe they've won this award every single time.
Is that true?
I think they've won 3 years in a row now.
So they're the biggest Backie winner. So listen, maybe next year they should get like one of those like trophies or awards for lifetime achievements.
Yeah,
that's what I think Subway should do.
Could rename the award after him.
Yeah, maybe they presenting sponsor Subway Backie award show.
Maybe next year we'll send like a $5 gift card to Subway with the winner of the brand of the year.
That's a good idea. Yeah. So Subway, sorry, but also call us. We'd love to partner and be, we'd love to help you out.
I love having shitty ideas.
Yeah, listen. These ideas are so
I've got
bad.
The worst ideas.
We could come up with these ideas. We could, if Subway, you called and said, "Hey, we want 1 million ideas of this caliber," we could.
Let's step it up a notch. Let's make it worse.
We could continue. We could roll out ideas. Renaming people, renaming Cookie Way.
I got one right here.
Yeah, we got ideas. Kevin, you
remember the sub that imploded? Make it Subway.
That's it.
The Subway sub.
Yeah, explosive Subway.
Explosive sub, explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, bring in Delta, and do a 3-way partnership. I could see the Instagram post with the 3 different owners coming right now: Delta, Subway, and then the estate of the family. I'm sorry.
Well, why even say any more words when we just did that? So
yeah. So Kevin, that ends the Backies. A beautiful night, and to celebrate. It's a celebration of the worst. I think that's the thing that we want to. Sort of end the show on a positive note, which is, listen, we, like you said, without rain, the sun would never look as beautiful. That's what you said, right, Kevin?
Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain.
And that's right. So we thank you for the Backies, for providing all that content, all those stories.
Yeah, we wouldn't be front and center without the Backies.
That's right. And I think, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg,
the show is built on the Backies.
They're built off of the back of really 3 real strong backs: Musk, Zuck, and Subway. So for that, we say thank you. And to our listeners, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year.